Hi guys! Welcome back to our channel, Dream of Soul. It's your girl Destiny.
Wanda.
It is Anime Mondays, guys. So we will bring you 2 new animes this week. Well, my anime is a bit old. Hers is more on the newer side. But we're giving you romantic comedies today.
Yes.
So cute. So funny.
Doors.
So funny too. There's no crying really going on in this. It's just straight laughter. You know, every now and then you get a little bit of annoyance, but you know, for the most part, it's literally just hysterics and cute vibes.
So cute.
So yeah, today I'm going to be talking about Itazura na Kiss. And
classic.
Yeah, this one came out in the late 90s. So yeah, classic. Mm-hmm. And she'll be talking about Horimiya.
And should I go? Should I start? Okay. Let's just jump right on in. I hesitate. Okay. Basically, Horimiya premiered this year, 2021, back in February. It hit the States. And basically, it's about this adorable, very bright, very smart young lady by the name of Kyoko Hori. And Kyoko is very popular in school. She's this high school girl, very popular. Guys love her, girls love her. She's very pretty, yada yada. And there's something about Hori that her classmates don't know. Hori is a bit of a homebody. She loves taking care of her house. She adores her little brother. She takes care of her little brother. Her mom works all the time, so she's basically running the house. If she's not, she's running things at home. So one day while she was, you see her like out and about, and her little brother, I almost forgot the details as to what happened. So basically her little brother got hurt, right? And a good Samaritan came along, helped her little brother, and he walked her little brother home. And she sees this guy, and he's tall, got jet black hair, blue eyes, long eyelashes, piercings everywhere, covered in tats, straight punk. Straight punk. And she's like a little taken aback by it, but yet she's kind of like attracted to this guy, because like, wow. And the guy helps, like I said, help her little brother home, and she's thanking him for helping her little brother. And he basically, when he addresses Kyoko, he addresses her by her name, and she's like, do I know you? Turns out he happens to be her classmate, whom she did not recognize at all. She was head exploding. Like, there's no way this punk rocking, tatted up, pierced dude is in my class. So he basically explains to her how they met, when they first met. So as he's talking to her about it, she's thinking back in her mind, and when she realizes who it is, again, her head explodes all over again. It's hysterical to watch. Turns out he's this very introverted. He always keeps to himself. He wears glasses. He always has on a suit jacket with his school uniform. And he turns out to be this her classmate by the name of his last name is Mitamura. I'm butchering his last name. Miyamura. And his first name is Izumi. And she's like, what? But in the end, basically, after those introductions, and they're talking a little bit, they both agree to keep that side to themselves. Ultimately, because of that meeting, Hori and Mitamura, they just click after that, because they just find they got this groove with one another. Like, her little brother fell in love with him, because he's so sweet. He has this really, really sweet side to him, and they invited him to stay for dinner, and he did. And after that, they just got closer and closer. And next you know, they're inseparable. They became like the best of friends. I mean, he's over the house all the time, and the little brother's falling more and more in love with him. It's like he looks at him as a big brother now. And mind you, when they're in school and their classmates see them talking, everybody's like, what the hell's going on? Like, here's this weird dude, because everyone in the school thought he was just a weirdo. No one wanted to associate with him. He always sat by himself. It was kind of sad. Weird. But she was the only one that gave him the time of day. That's why she was shocked when she saw him, because immediately when he mentioned them their first meeting, he was like, of course I know that guy, but that guy's not you. But turns out it is. But anyway, so they get to know one another and they become closer and closer in school. Everyone's freaking out as to how close they are, so much so that he's now opening up because of her. And because he's opening up, he's getting noticed more, and even other girls are starting to become attracted to him because he's opening up. Mind you, Horty's not having it, but anyway, guys who was afraid to talk to her are now freaking out because they're like, how did she pick this guy and not me? Well, hello, you wasn't brave enough to approach her. But one guy that had a major crush on her, him and Izumi, sorry. Even though he told him that, no, I liked her, but okay, you got her, yada yada. They become the best of friends. All these other characters are introduced. There's a lot of great characters. It's a story about this boy who was once alone all the time, and now he's blossomed into this he's always been a very kind, sweet boy, but he finds love in this girl, and she finds love in him, and they become a couple, and it's just so sweet to see how she brings so much out of him, and he brings things out of her. There are parts in this. I'm laughing because you wouldn't know it to look at her, but Kyoto, she's a bit of a freak. So much so that at certain points in time in their relationship, she likes it when she begs. I keep messing up his poor baby's name. Izumi. She begs him at one point, stop being so nice? Why can't you be rough with me? Why can't you curse me out, slap me in my face? She likes stuff like that. And mind you, this poor baby's all distraught and taken aback, like, I can never do that to you. And she's like, she gets all sad, but the moment he turns around and be like,
come on, bitch.
Yeah, basically, come on, bitch, or whatever. She's falling behind him with these stars in her eyes, like,
because he looks like the rough bad boy when
but
they're
he's
together.
So
she wants him to play that rough bad boy role.
It's
when they're together. But he's so
hilarious.
Sweet, so he's not used to. So he has to force himself to call her bad names, to slap her.
When he does it, he's broken afterwards. He feels horrible.
So he's walking down the street dejected, and then she's walking down the street all smiles,
happy and
because
smiling,
she's so
like
happy that she
like
got
do
hit.
it again. It's like, that's what I feel from her. She is.
Or is that a masochist?
Oh damn!
I'm
neither, so I don't know. Nor do I care about those things. But anyway, it's amazing. It's amazing. Like I said, it's filled with a lot of fun characters, and everyone. It's like you get to know this group of kids that grow together, and it is clear that they're all very, very good friends. It's just one of those romantic, funny, sweet, adorable comedies. I mean, it was over way too soon. When it ended, I was mad, because the way it ended, it just left you craving more, because all the time, because they became so inseparable with each other, there were scenes where, say they weren't together, they were missing each other like crazy. I mean, literally just a phone call away, but they had to speak to one another. It was just, they made them not doubt their relationship, but it made them wonder, oh my God, am I going to be with him forever? Or he would wonder, is he going to be with her forever? And I can't say nothing negative about this series. I mean, there's moments where old friends who were from Izuki's past come up, and they looking at him like, nah, that can't be his girl. You crazy? Or please, whatever. And there was this one scene where these three dudes who recognize him, they see that he's changed, but they recognize him. They like basically going off, like talking about how much of a punk he was in middle school. But little do they know that his lady is standing right there behind him, and you see like flames coming off her, and she's giving them all the look of death, basically saying, you say one more thing negative about my man and there's gonna be a problem. She scares the living hell out of these three dudes, to the point that every time they see her, it's like they straighten up, like it's It's hysterical. You gotta see it. Horimiya is basically, if you didn't guess already, even though I butchered their names, is an acronym of their names combined. Hori and Mitamura. And it's just this really, really adorable show that if you're at home and you want to watch something that's cute, funny, and that will leave you wanting more, Horimiya is definitely the show for you to watch. And I just love it to death. I didn't want it to end. And wait until you see the ending.
Beautiful.
You're gonna. I cried, but it was tears of joy. So you gotta watch it. It's so sweet. Again,
and it's just if you just want a quick, cute,
it's really
funny. Like
when it ended,
quick
I was
quick. Like 13,
it was over in like
20 minute episodes.
Yeah, blink of an eye. I was like, damn, that's it. That's it.
So you feeling wonderful. Like if you're just in the mood for a cute romantic comedy, if you're depressed and just want something to laugh at, it's a cute.
I hope you're not depressed, but if you're just really into those really adorable, funny romantic comedies, Horimiya is definitely the one for you. I love it so much. Funimation. Must watch.
Word. So. Yep. And now we're about to get into my classic. Now, Itazura na Kiss. I say this all the time because I'm always talking about my favorites every week, but I've seen Itazura na Kiss like several times through and through because it's another short series. This one's only 25 episodes. But I could. I'm just gonna
it's that show.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my. Oops, sorry. I accidentally kicked the camera. It's definitely one of my favorite romantic comedies for those cute little short slice of life 24, 25 episode shows. This is definitely one of my favorites. And
it was so dope. They made live action versions
I was
of
gonna
it.
Get into that.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah. So 3 of them. More than just 3, but I'll get into
That's
that.
Right.
But so Itazura na Kiss is about this girl named I don't know why I said because I started thinking about hold on ignore me, hold on. So Itazura na Kiss is about this girl named Kotoko Arihara, and she is as dumb as a brick. She's in the class F. Like, this is how dumb she is. So their school is divided from class A to F, obviously A being the smartest and F being the dumbest. And her and all of her friends are a bunch of fools. And it's like, not only is she not book smart, but she doesn't really have much common sense either.
No.
Like, her best quality is the fact that she's just really sweet. She's very sweet.
She's adorable.
And, she tries hard. But it just doesn't always pay off. Whether it's school, whether it's cooking, whether it's...
anything.
Yeah, poor girl. But she means well. She means well.
She's tragic.
So one day, she decides to cook up the courage to confess to her love. She's been in love with this man since orientation freshman year.
Yes.
And she happens to be in love with the smartest kid in school.
Why?
The smartest kid in school. He's not only in the A class, he is the head of the A class, always getting perfect scores on every single exam. Mm-hmm. He is said to have an IQ of 200. He's of course beautiful, most popular and handsome. Mind you, he's not a people person, but he's popular because he's so smart and because he's so handsome, right? So she decides one day, I'm going to cook up the courage to confess them. She writes a little love letter. She really puts a lot into this love letter too. She seals it up. She brings it to him to school. She's telling him, I would love for you to... Before she could finish her sentence, he says, I don't want it. And keeps it pushing. And she's so shocked by what happened. She drops the letter entirely. And he steps on it and keeps it pushing. He doesn't care at all. He just leaves it there in the courtyard. Keeps it pushing. Of course, by the end of the school day, everybody has heard that she got rejected badly. Because he did it in front of everybody. She should have brought him to the side. She did it right there at the beginning of school in the courtyard. Everybody's coming, and so by the end of the day, of course, everybody has heard of her failure, and they're looking at her like, how dare you, a class F student, confessing to the king of our school? Are you crazy? So this poor girl.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was pretty bold for my damn self. Because woo.
But it gets worse for this poor girl because the very next day, her father is celebrating the fact that they just got their home renovated freshly. He's in love with it. Like, yes, I finally got my dream home. And, you know, she has her friends over. They're drinking. Well, not drinking, but, you know, the dad's drinking. They're eating, you know, having fun.
Having that cute little party.
An earthquake hits. And they're all like, oh, we got to get on the table, blah, blah, blah. They run outside because the house starts shaking, right? So,
yeah.
House completely caves in. And they looking around the block. And their house is the only house that caved in.
Only house.
Why? Because of quick, faulty renovations. You know, the renovation they did was done in a blink of an eye, but of course when it's too fast, you know, odds are it wasn't done right. Yeah, so their house fell apart completely. Destroyed. First night in this new renovated house breaks apart, right? So they're like, what the hell are we gonna do? So he's like, we're gonna get the house, redone. In the meantime, my old college friend said, we could stay with him and his family, right? So they pack up, they go over to the house. And of course, his college friend is, this rich guy. So they got like this mansion. They look at, ooh. So Kotoko sees that the house name is right there and it says Irie. Right.
What are the odds?
So she's like, nah, there's just no way. There's no way because there's no way, right? They open the door, nice lady answers, nice his friend, oh hey, what's up, blah blah. Let me introduce you to my son. And of course, lo and behold, it is Naoki Irie, who is the man she confessed to the day before. She's like, my life can't get any worse. Because she's like, crap. I gotta stay with this man now? Yo. So, of course he's not going to be rude or mean to her in front of his parents. Not. So, of course, he's playing the perfect gentleman. Yes, and she's over here freaking out. They introduce him to his little brother named Yuki. So, of course, the mom is in love with Kotoko immediately. She's one of those women who's like, okay, this daughter is gorgeous, beautiful. She's so sweet. I want her to be my son. Don't give a damn about what they feeling. I want them two to be together. So of course she automatically is encouraging, I want you to be my daughter-in-law, right?
From the gate though. That made no sense to me, but
she kicked Yuki out of his bedroom and transformed his bedroom into this girly palace. Girly room. So of course Yuki's little brother, he off the bat hates her. Because he's like, not only did you take over my room, but you're also a dummy.
An idiot.
Because he tests her with he's in like elementary school, like late in elementary school. Yes. He tests her with his elementary school homework, and of course she can't get it right. So he's like, Baka!
She got it wrong.
So, not only are you taking over my household, but you're an idiot. I don't like you. I hate you. He literally tells her, I hate you, and he runs off to his room and slams the door. Not his room. He runs off to Naoki's room because now he has to stay with he now has to stay with Naoki. Right? And, Naoki, of course, he's playing the role of the perfect gentleman. But, of course, once he takes her stuff upstairs and they get alone, he says, do not talk to me. Do not come near me, and damn sure do not associate with me at school. No one is to know that you are staying with me. Okay. He kind of just easy work, and he leaves to his room. So as you can see, girl who's in love with the popular boy, they're living together. What could possibly happen? A lot happens. A lot happens. I'm not going to tell you everything that does happen because, it's all funny and stuff. I'm not going to give anything away. Just know that it takes a long, 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 long time for his cold heart
to warm up.
to thaw. Okay? They go, because they're sophomores in high school when this happens.
Yes.
They go to senior year. Well, I guess they don't do freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, so they only do the 3 years. Well, they're in their second year of high school when they officially meet. They go through that year, they get through their senior year, they go to college, second year of college. That's when we get to he finally starts to feel things for her. That's what, 3 years. 3 years goes by, it's insane, right? But eventually obviously they do get together at some point. But leading up to that
only because of her diligence.
Yeah, that girl, she fought.
She was not.
There was a couple of times she thought about giving up, and then there was one official time that she did give up. But of course, that's when he, So, sorry. Certain characters that are semi-important. You got her two best friends, Jinko and Satomi. They're not the greatest looking girls, and they're also as equally as dumb as he is. As she is. As she is. Eventually, she goes to college and she makes new friends, but they're her main friends. Yes. And then you got Kinosuke. He's popular. He's not popular, but he's important because this poor boy. So Kinosuke has been in love with Kotoko since their freshman year of high school. He's always been devoted to her.
In love. Head over heels.
And he was so obvious about it too. But she's still she's still, it's like she doesn't really get. I think she thought he was joking. Because he's another retard, he's another fool, even though he was always acting jealous around Naoki, and he defended her and blah blah, and he would even wrap his arm around her all the time. He's very obvious about his feelings, but of course he's also very silly, so I don't think she took him seriously at first, but she eventually does, because after he's the only fool who didn't get into college. He didn't pass his entrance exams, and he begins to work at the cafeteria of her college so he could see her more often. But eventually, he becomes a real chef working for her father, because her father's a chef. So, he matures along the way,
Yes.
And after he has matured somewhat, he's like, what, I finally think it's time that, I be more serious about you. So he tries to take her out on dates and stuff, and he eventually proposes to Kotoko. That proposal is what led to Naoki being like, what? He proposed to her, so now he's like, wait,
you supposed to love only me.
Yeah, now he's like, wait, this is like a serious, like she could seriously be taken from me now. So that's when he, of course, like every man does, they see the girl who's been pining over them for years finally moving on, and it's like, no, wait. So yeah, that's what eventually leads him. That's literally the second he heard that news. Oh, he proposed last night. That's when he was like, that very same night he confessed to Kotoko, and those two eventually they get married. Kinosuke, he gets a person though. Don't mind. He gets she's this beautiful British foreign exchange student who comes, and at first he's brushing her off because even though Kotoko is with Naoki, he still is trying to be devoted to her, which doesn't really make sense. And he sees this British girl, she's very obvious about her feelings for him. She tells him right off the bat, I love you and I want you to be mine. He's like, hell no, get away from me. I'm in love with Kotoko. Know your place, but eventually, he eventually, because he goes
same things, almost like the same situation when she's about to leave.
Yeah,
that's when all of a sudden he's like, no.
She gives up because he snaps on her one day. They throw like a birthday party for him, and she's like, I made this, I made that, because he's all like, oh, the food is great, Kotoko, you did great. Oh, it wasn't me, it was her. Oh, this present is amazing, Kotoko, thank you so much. Oh no, that wasn't me, that was her. At first he loves everything, but the second he finds it comes from her, he's all like, no.
What's her name, like Chris or something?
Chris Robbins, yes. And he snaps on her and was like, when are you gonna get it? I would never love you. I'm only gonna ever love Kotoko and blah blah. He snaps, and Kotoko is like, how could you be so mean? How could you be so cruel? Like nothing's like, she's married. She got the ring on her finger. What do you mean you giving her up because you still in love with So Kotoko is like, what are you doing? So of course, Chris decides, I'm gonna go back to the UK. That's when this fool finally is like, wait, she's getting on a plane? And he literally says, well, I treat her like that because she's always going to come back. He literally says that. But when he hears that she's not coming back, she's getting on a plane, then he's like, oh my God. So, of course, he runs to the airport and gets her. So he has a happy ending, too. Hi. Where'd you come from? Where'd you come from? Yeah, so the gist is, after Kotoko and Naoki get married, of course they go through a little bit of marital drama too that I'm not going to get into. But the ending is so beautiful, so sweet, so cute. I love this show so much. And the world loved this show so much because why? They went on to have several different spin-offs. They did several live actions, I believe. So they did 3 movies. No, they did 3 movies in Japan, 1 movie in Taiwan, and then they did. Oh, he knocked over the camera. And then they did several not K dramas, but they did several dramas in literally like damn near every language. They did one in Korean, they did one in Japanese, they did one in Chinese, they did one in Thai, they did one in Taiwanese. Like, they were not kidding. They did a live action in every language because that's how awesome this show was.
So good.
You could see they kind of like they changed the names a little bit, so you can't type in Itazura na kiss. Like, you have Mischievous Kiss, and you got Last Kiss, and you got First Kiss. You know, they changed those up a little bit, so you just gotta look that up. But yeah, you could watch.
Yeah.
Okay. You could watch Itazura na Kiss on Crunchyroll. Or is it Funimation? It was definitely Crunchyroll.
Yeah, Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll has it. Crunchyroll also has the Japanese live action parts 1 and 2. They used to have the other parts on Netflix, like the other languages, because that's how I've seen it on Netflix originally. Yes. But it's no longer there on Netflix. At least not the Japanese version. I'm not sure about the Korean and Chinese versions. Those might still be there, but I'm not sure.
Should be there. Stay there.
Yeah, but definitely, it is definitely top tier romantic comedy. It is so funny. The dramas, like the live action dramas, they get a little bit more into more detail because the anime version is only 25 episodes, but the Japanese live action drama was split into 2 seasons of like 24 episodes each. Yeah. And
it goes into a lot.
So we got a lot more detail, which brings a lot more drama. But it was really good. It was really good. I had no problem because they kept to the original, but they just added to it. Yes. You know, they didn't take away from the original, so it was perfect. Yes, it was perfect. I personally didn't watch the Korean and the Chinese versions.
I did.
Yeah, she did. It was personally because like I didn't really care for the actors that they had playing my people. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really watch it. But
all the versions were. Because all the versions stayed true to form. That's why I liked it.
Yeah.
Very much true to form. They didn't veer off. They might have changed little details, but they kept the personalities the same.
Yeah.
Maybe their occupations were done slightly differently, but for the most part, they kept everything the same. So any version you watch, you'll be pleased.
Yeah. But start off with the anime version.
Oh yeah,
and then
definitely watch
the
anime first
because it was really good. It was awesome. One of my favorites for a reason. It was superb. So yeah, if you are feeling like a romantic comedy and you need something to watch, definitely hop onto these 2. It'll keep you very, very entertained. You don't want to get and they both have beautiful endings. There's no crying. There's no heartbreak. There's no
ripping your heart out.
Fun. It's just fun, laughter,
no
cute,
pain,
sweet. You know,
a lot of laughter.
Slice of life shows.
A lot of laughter. Yeah. It's very funny. A lot of it. Both of them. They're just it's funny. You'll laugh.
So watch those 2. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, please. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope you enjoyed this Anime Monday. And we'll see you again next Monday.
Bye.